Right on up to, say, 67 or 68, to the black musician we're talking about. Quebec was paradise. You can say, in the province of Quebec, you'd walk St. Catherine Street, you might have had a club every other door. In the province of Quebec, you had as much as, I would very easily say, 300 black groups of musicians that did the tour. French people are very lively. They had some hell of entertainers themselves. So the only entertainment that could compare with what they had was something totally different, which was the black happening.
Cette année, c'est vraiment spécial. C'est un homme qui, depuis les derniers 50 ans ici, à Montréal, il avait gardé l'esprit de cette musique de jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, so many wonderful musicians have had the opportunity to win this very prestigious prize. But I think none of them deserve it more or has done more to keep jazz alive here in Montreal. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous présente Monsieur Charlie Biddle.
By meeting a French Canadian changed all of my prejudices. You know, learned me how to deal with people. Killed a lot of hatred that I had, you know.
This is one that I had recorded, and it's called Charlie B.
The music scene, you know, when you look at Quebec as a music scene, no place on North America could touch it, not even Las Vegas. Because you had music all up in Rouen, Noranda, Melodic, Cisco Island, Latuque, Grand Marais. Grand Marais was a swinging town. Shawinigan, you know. In Eastern Townships, it was just murder. They had all kinds of music going on there. And then Valleyfield and Beauharnois.
Back then, we didn't have the luxury of having that many bass players. The groups that did have bass players were really considered elite. And we used to have a Saturday afternoon jam sessions, and Charlie and his group were working right across from where we were in Valleyfield. And I had heard of him. I knew that he was in town, and finally had a chance to play with him. And it was a great thrill back then.
I met the man something like 45 years ago. I guess it was 1955. My father owned a hotel in Asbestos, Quebec. And he wanted, we had a big grill, could sit 300 people there. He wanted a black musician to come, because it was, everybody had black musician. And he came down to interview one afternoon. I wasn't there, but when I came back, my sister told me there was 2 black guys here this afternoon, and Dad hired them to play here. She said, there's a nice tall one with a beard. And I said, a nice black guy with a beard? Wow, I'm going to marry him. I'd never seen him before. And look at me today. 43 years of marriage, 4 kids. I predicted the whole thing.
I was surprised that he got married more than anything else, because when he was here in Philadelphia, he was a bit of a ladies' man. And I mean in a big way. He was a good-looking black man, and the ladies loved him, and he loved women. You know, so I was more surprised that he got married at all.
One day, I remember Charlie picking me up at work. We lived in Chateauguay, and I worked at IGA as a cashier. And I happened to notice that when he walked in, you know, they have those little offices up at the top. They have 3 or 4 steps in the office, and they can watch whatever's going on. And I happened to notice that the manager of the whole district was there with the manager of the store, and I saw the manager of the store pointing to me and Charlie, like saying, you know, this is her husband. Anyway, when I went back the next day, they told me I was fired.
And we had a hard time. My wife had a million reasons to pack her shit and leave. You know, there's times they couldn't pay the rent. I had more seizures than anybody in the world. I could paper this whole building with seizures and lawyers' letters. I was having a hard time, man. I used to go and sell cars in the morning. I'd get up at 8 o'clock, be in the garage at 9. I stayed in hustle from 9 o'clock till 6:30 sometime. Most of the time I lived quite a ways from where I work, because I always raised my kids in the country, because I didn't want them to, if I stayed in Montreal, I had to live where all the poor people live, because that's all we could afford. And once you're in the same basket as everybody else, you can't get out.